Morning folks. It is 7 in the morning on a Saturday. I'm just saying that to show off. So I never would have been able to do that, as you will know if you watched my video about alcoholism. I never would have been able to do that a while ago. So yeah, I'm showing off a bit. Today we're going to be walking around Canford Heath Nature Reserve, which is the closest really nice walk to where I live, and I'm talking less than 5 minutes walk away from my front door. So that's what I've done. I haven't driven anywhere today. It's going to be a fairly long one, about 11k I think. So I've brought a snack. I've got some sun cream, because that big orange fella is going to be raining down on me today. A good YouTuber would have looked up some facts and stuff first about Canford Heath Nature Reserve, and I had every intention of doing that, and then I forgot. So there's a sign here. Let's have a look what this sign says, and then I'll just show you what I see. That might be just better than telling you some facts. House Martin Hotel. That's what that is. That's the House Martin Hotel. Isn't that so cool that we go to the effort of doing that kind of thing, making a hotel for birds? The way many people look after animals makes me feel good. Makes me feel proud about being an evolved being. Right, onwards and upwards. So this walk actually said that I needed to drive for 5 minutes and find a parking spot on this road, and I looked at the route and I thought that probably goes quite near where I live. Now this is quite difficult for me as an autistic person, because I'm doing something that's not the way it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. My brain really battled with the idea of, well, that's not the start of the route. If you join the route halfway, you're doing not the proper route. And it's a circular, so I mean, there is a starting point, but there isn't, it can be anywhere. So I feel like I'm being a bit radical. These are just some of the things that autistic people go through day to day. And maybe, I don't know if non-autistic people do as well. But yeah, I'm joining the route kind of in the middle, because I realised it went near enough to my house. And if you don't have to drive, you shouldn't drive. It's better for the environment, and then it's definitely better for the wallet with the price of petrol at the moment. So I joined the route at a midpoint, and I'll end at the same point as well. We're starting with a bit of a climb. So this is rated as a moderate walk on all trails. I can't remember the name of it, as I never can. It's on my phone, but I'll have a look at that in a second, and I'll probably put a screenshot on like I always do. And I think this one will actually be moderate. The last few that have said they're moderate have been so easy. This heathland is really prone to wildfires as well, and arson, sadly. There was a time when all of this was on fire a couple of years ago, and they had to evacuate everyone whose houses backed onto it, and that was started by arson. So it's a shame, but it does happen. But you can see how easily a fire would spread out here. So don't leave any glass bottles, because they amplify the heat of the sun. Just clean up after yourself. I've got a sweat on already. I ate like a pig yesterday, as I often do. I think it's because I'm not sleeping. When you're tired and you're just craving rubbish food. It wasn't too bad, but it was payday yesterday, and I was working in one of our offices that is near to a Waitrose, and I thought, sod it, I'm just going to go to Waitrose, and I'm getting a little feast. And I didn't get anything too bad. I did get a bag of sweets, but I scoffed a lot. And Saoirse says, you're going on a big hike tomorrow, aren't you? So it's carb loading. And I said, well, I think I've been carb loading for about 37 years then. And today is hot. So in my bag I've got some sun cream and a towel, both of which I think I'm going to need. I think my problem is I just love food. I love the idea of food. I love eating food. I love preparing food. I've probably got a bit of an addiction, to be honest. I feel pretty powerless over it, but I seem to be able to level the playing field just by exercising my body as much as I can. I think they're foxgloves. A lot of the heath land is like bracken and ferns. For the amount of walks that I do and the places that I go, you think I'd know more about nature and plants. Actually, I don't. I just like looking at them, and I can show you them, but unfortunately I can't tell you that much about them. This walk, one of the main reasons for coming out so early this morning is that it says on all trails that this walk can get quite busy, and I don't mind that, but I feel like a bit of a plonker if I'm filming. From my last few walks getting out early, I just love it, and then you've got the rest of the day and you feel great, and there's more than one reason to come out early, but not being seen filming myself and feeling like an idiot is one of them. What did you all think of my clickbaity AI thumbnail on my last video? I felt like an idiot, but apparently you need to get a thumbnail that grabs people's attention. And if the channel took off, for example, and I was making money out of it, I'd just pay an artist. I would always pay an artist over using AI. And I'm not against AI. I think it's a good thing inherently if used well. I think for things like fraud and security and data, I think it's going to be a really useful tool. And I think creative people can use it really, really well to embellish their creativity, expand it. But I think where people aren't creative, or they aren't willing to put the work in themselves, and they're using AI to do that bit for them, I think it's a dangerous thing. It's a little bit like technology in general. You know, hundreds of years ago, it was the skill we would pass down. We would pass down skills from one generation to another, and we had to, because that's how we made money and it was essential to our survival. Now with the Industrial Revolution and the way technology's taken off, it's the technology that manages the skill, and we just reproduce the technology. So many of those skills, I imagine they've been retained in some areas. Some people have probably been quite strict about retaining them, but I imagine a lot of people have been lost. And I think it would be the same with AI. If everyone started relying on AI for their creativity, we'd stop retaining that natural spark in us that is creative. And I think the most creative people, or the people whose creativity I enjoy the most, is the people who have the least to work with. So the people who've managed to make music and art from very little, I'm the most impressed with. I'm less impressed when someone's got everything to their disposal and they create something. I'm still impressed if it's good, or if I think it's good, but I'm more impressed when somebody manages to do it with less. I'd rather than watching jazz, where no offence to jazz fans, and I like some jazz, I like more traditional New Orleans jazz, but I don't like modern jazz because they're so accomplished on their instruments, they're so fluent between scales and modes that I feel for me it's just lost the core thing that I love about music. And jazz people will go mad at that and say, no, that's absolutely not the case. And that's fine, we can disagree. Happy to disagree. But I'd like the things I like more are when, a band's formed in their parents' garage and they're kind of just learning their instruments and learning how to make sounds and coming up with things in the face of, not struggle, but obviously some of the best music in the world and the best art in the world has come from the back of people struggling. I wouldn't necessarily want someone to struggle to have to create it, but I just like more raw. I don't know how to put it into words, but I hope I'm giving you a good enough explanation. It's like writing. If people use AI to write for them, writing is such a core human form of expression, I think. And as much as AI can amalgamate loads of other people's versions of that, it can never truly write. It can just mimic what other writers have done in the past. And you know, some people would argue, well, that's all humans do in a way, but if you're writing from your heart and your soul, it doesn't matter how good your grammar is or your punctuation and this, that and the other. You know, AI is good for that. That's where our AI could come in. But that form of expression is such a core human, such a uniquely human art form that I think it's a bit of a tragedy that people use AI to write creatively for them. So just to summarise, I'd rather see a piece of art that someone had made from their heart that didn't necessarily look that great than I would see a perfectly polished AI replica of that same art. That's my personal preference. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? So grateful just to be able to do this. Gratitude is one of those things I think you have to practice. Because before I sobered up, I thought I was grateful for loads of stuff, but my actions would demonstrate that I was taking it all for granted. So now to truly feel gratitude for this and my friends and my family and my health, such an amazing feeling. Look at that. I don't think I've ever been down this way, which is criminal, considering how close I live. Recycling centre, an essential part of any walk. Well, I'd rather it be a recycling centre than a sewage plant. An essential part of this walk is me chub rub shorts. And yeah, I'm wearing a bum bag. Deal with it. Just had a cyclist go past. No good morning. I've walked past 2 people so far and 1 cyclist, and the good mornings are only 1 out of 3. And no friendly dogs so far. Well, no unfriendly dogs, but no dogs that have just immediately fallen in love with me, which is what I expect. I'm only joking, but it's nice when a dog does that. My friend Charlie brought her little dog to... We do a run club after work, so we just run around the park a couple of times after work on a Thursday. And he was just so adorable, and he cuddled me. He actually flipping cuddled me. A full-on cuddle. And Charlie was like, he loves cuddles. And I was like, you just couldn't get better than that. Cuddling an animal. Oh, it's like a dream come true. I see videos on Facebook of stuff from animal rescue places, and the animals there who trust the people in the rescue cuddle them. Like cows. Oh, cows cuddle people. I've seen it. I mean, these cows do anyway. Chickens. You know, if you're tender, I think one of the most uniquely human things to be is tender and kind. If we've got that ability, why don't we use it more? If you have the power to change how someone feels, which we do, why don't we use it for better good? To be tender and kind and make people feel good. And I get we've got our own stuff going on a lot of the time and it's just not possible. I get that, I totally get that. I'm not expecting people to walk around like enlightened beings. But when you can, when you feel able to, and if you feel confident enough, just be kind and tender. This is nice. It's a drastic change from all that kind of dry, chalky gravel I was walking on to now I'll be walking on this. And it's cooler in here as well. Now, I said I don't know anything about plants, but I do know enough to know that there's a stinging nettles. And I believe that, is it Sticky willy? Honestly, I've not made that up. I think that's what it might be called. There's something similar that we had up north that we called sticky buds. They're always near bracken. That's bracken, I think. And they just stick to your clothes. Your mum would go mad when you came home because you'd be absolutely covered in them. And the good thing about a stinging nettle is they tend to grow near dock leaves. And if you get stung by a stinging nettle, you can rub a dock leaf on the sting and it will help. Although I was watching a video the other day by Tom from Eat the Country or Eat the Countryside. He's a plant expert. And he does this series called Death or Dinner, and he challenges you. He'll feature a plant, and the theme is, would this serve as a dinner or would it kill you? Anyway, he knows absolutely loads about the plants that we see in the British countryside, and he was saying that there's actually a better plant than a dock leaf. I think there's some dock leaves here, look, there you go. They're dock leaves, I believe. Maybe, I don't know. But apparently there's a better one for neutralising nettle stings. If only I knew what it was. I haven't been stung, so I'm okay. We've got to walk on this main road now not for too long. I don't see a pavement. Maybe there is, I just can't see it. It looks quite busy for 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, there is a pavement. We're okay. I feel like a bit of a div filming though, so I need to get over that. I'm wearing a bum bag for Christ's sake, and I'm worried about people seeing me filming. It's made my day seeing that horse and being able to say hello to him or her. I feel really chuffed now. Oh, it just makes you feel good. Animals have that power. I was saying earlier how we have the power to change how someone feels, and yet animals can do that to me. The old school cottage. There's a very prestigious private school back the way I've just came. I didn't really feel comfortable filming a school for obvious reasons, but looks like it's a church and a play school, which is very common for the British countryside, for churches to double up as play schools and community halls and all that good stuff. So thank you for that, churches. You know, this is 10 minutes drive from my house, and I've never been here. Another bigger church, I imagine, around the corner. And this is just called Canford. So the bit I was on before was Canford Heath. And then there's Canford Magna, Canford Bottom, Canford School. And I've got no idea who or what Canford is. Welcome to Canford. Maybe this sign will tell us. Oh, that's the school. So that's the school entrance. I won't film that. I've just walked past two ladies and they had coffees. That's a good sign. Back on the Castleman Trailway, which I told you about in the last video. I've taken a slight detour so we can walk by the river. I don't see why the walk on all trails, as you're going straight on the Castleman Trail up there, whereas you can snake along by the river and then just rejoin the trail. Why would you not want to do that? How fun does that look? That looks so much fun. Right, now we're back on the Castleman Trailway. I would say this is my new favourite walk so far. There's been nothing not to love. I just wish I knew where those women got those coffees. Other than that, can't fault it. I've never seen this before. It's like something from Tomb Raider. What is this? Footpath passengers only. How tall are people? I'm flipping heck, I'm about a foot too tall. Wheel up. I mean, really cool, but Not built for people my size, that's for sure. Right, I think we're walking on a road now for ages, which is a shame, but I guess we've been really lucky with this walk. It's been one of my favourites in a long, long time, so I'll have to just deal with it. So I've just checked the map, and I know where we are now, and this really is a long bit of road that we're about to do. Just got me 10,000 steps in, according to my watch. It's not bad before 9 AM, is it? I'm quite proud of that. I just wear one of these. Look at where my cat scratched me. I just wear one of those really old Fitbits. It's not like a smartwatch or anything. Although it started giving me notifications now when my phone goes off. In fact, my friend James's wife gave me this one, so thank you very much, because my old one broke. But I just need it to do my distance and my speed really for when I'm running, and this is perfect. And it's just told me I've done 10,000 steps. So this is the bit actually that I used to come and cycle down with my son. I mentioned it in the last video that me and my son used to cycle on the Castleman Trailway, and we'd come down here, and there's a pub back there that we just walked past called the Willett Arms. Overrated, sorry Willett Arms. And we'd cycle down from Mars. All right, so what would I do? Would I park? I can't remember what I'd do. I'd either park the car and we'd cycle down here and have a bowl of chips in the Willett Arms and go back. Or we might have cycled all the way from ours, but he was quite little at the time, so I don't imagine we would have cycled that far. But yeah, sorry Willett Arms. The first time I ate at the Willett Arms, I remember it being really good. But then every time I went since, the food took forever, and they'd done really unnecessary things with it. Like, Saoirse got this dessert, and it was a deconstructed crumble. Like, it had all the elements of a crumble all separate on a plate. Like, the crumble was kind of just on the plate. It was really disappointing. You know, when she just misread, she missed the word deconstructed, and she was really looking forward to a crumble, and she got that, and it was, I've never forgiven them. Right, we're turning down into Delft Woods, and it is absolutely stunning in here. Really, really nice. When my son was little, I used to love taking him here. There'd be a rope swing, and it's quite small, so you can kind of walk around it in 20-30 minutes. So it's perfect for little ones. And just look at it. Incredible. That's the Castleman Trail that we just came off there. The last time I ran down that, I parked at one end, and if you run from where the car park is to where that Willett Arms pub is that I talked about and back, it's exactly 5 kilometres. And I thought, and it's all flat, and I thought I'm going to get a PB, a personal best. So I was keeping an eye on my watch a lot, but it kept losing signal. And I thought, in my head, I thought I was sprinting, and I thought I'm going to have massively broken the half-an-hour mark here. I got back to my car, and it was like, it wasn't a PB, put it that way. There's a rope swing there, and there's a little stream here. And me and my son used to play poo sticks. Now, if you've never read Winnie the Pooh, the term poo sticks is going to sound really weird to you. But it's a game that was in the Winnie the Pooh books, which is my favourite books, my favourite children's books. And Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, and maybe someone else, maybe Tigger, they play a game where you go to one side of the bridge, you all drop a stick in, and you run to the other side of the bridge, the way that the stream is running, and you see whose stick comes out first. Pooh sticks. So I've just got my bearings on where this walk is taking me. I've done it before, a long, long time ago in reverse, and it is quite tricky actually. So the sign on the gate said that this bit is a amphibian and reptile reserve. So I will keep my eyes peeled because it is the morning sunlight. And as we know, there's many cold-blooded animals that like to come and bask in it. And more importantly, I don't want to step on one. Do you know, in lockdown, I lost a lot of weight in the first one. I put on a lot of weight because I was on I thought I heard something then. A little slithering maybe. I lost a lot of weight in COVID in the first lockdown. Like a lot of weight, like 5 stone. Don't know what that is in new money, but it was a lot of weight. And I didn't do it particularly healthily. The exercise was good, but I was in such a huge calorie deficit because I was walking anywhere up to 15 kilometres a day, and that was every day, back when we were allowed to like leave the house and stuff. I was furloughed a lot longer because I was working in live entertainment at the time as a technician, sound engineer. I was a sound engineer for most of my life before I started doing what I'm doing now. But we were furloughed. Obviously, we were entertainment venues, art centres. We were some of the last places to be taken out of lockdown. So I was furloughed for much longer than most people were. So I had lots of free time. And I was walking like 15 kilometres a day, every day. And then I would take my son out to play football. And I'd run around with him playing football. And I was only eating Weight Watchers meals, like 300 calorie dinners. I wouldn't eat something if it was more than like 300 calories. And I'd have like a couple of them a day. But I must have been eating somewhere close to 1,000, 1,500 calories, which is so unhealthy. Don't ever do that if you are exercising. Speak to a professional, work with a PT, work with a nutritionist and find out. Resting, I can't remember what it's called, I'm out of breath. This is a bit of a climb, this. But don't just do what I did. Don't just massively cut your calories, massively cut your nutrients as well. Don't bear in mind I was doing that. So I was eating microwave meals. And then push yourself daily to burn off close to 2,000 calories because your body will shut down. And my body ended up in A&E. I kept feeling like I was going to faint. And I went to A&E and the doctor, did all my vitals and what have you. And they were all kind of normal, slightly low blood sugar. And they couldn't get to the bottom of it. And then he said, well, how's your diet? And I said, well, I told them what I was doing. And the doctor kind of just said, oh my word, that is so unhealthy. I know you've lost weight, but you are pushing, you're getting on for heart failure, eating that little and exercising that much. And, the lack of electrolytes and nutrients. I mean, I lost a load of weight, but at the cost of my health, So, yeah, I then started eating a bit more and being a bit more sensible about my approach. And of course, I say I put weight on through medication. It's partly true. Quetiapine does cause people to put a lot of weight on. You must remember that I was also a raging alcoholic. And having 2,000 calories of beer a day doesn't help. Right, this is what I meant when I said it gets tricky. I specifically remember this bit because it's narrow and it's prickly. It would be better to have trousers on, and I've got my chub rub shorts on. Oh well. Well, that bit's over and we're on a really nice bit again now. We've got the road to our left, gravel hill, which is made out of tarmac. A nice bog. I mean, I think it'll be well, no, it is a pond. It is a pond, that's unfair. It's a pond. And some of these beautiful purple flowers that we see all over. And if someone in the comments section could let me know what they are, I'd really appreciate it because I've walked past hundreds on this walk and quite a few, whoops, nearly fell over. And quite a few on the last walk too. But it's a good workout for the old calves. Incredibly thoughtful of that tree to just fall in a perfect right angle. for people to sit on. Thank you, tree. And there's more of those purple flowers again. Wish I knew what they were, but someone's going to tell me in the comments. So by the time this goes out, hopefully I will know. Now I'm coming back up onto the heath, onto Canford Heath, which I'm all too familiar with. Canford Heath Nature Reserve. So there's a couple of routes I can take back. I'm sure this wants me to take the more challenging one, which means a really steep climb back up to come back down again, and I just don't know if I'm going to do that. Plus I've already been up there and I didn't start my route from the start of the actual trail. I started it at my house, so as long as I end up back there, it doesn't really matter. So I said on camera so everyone can hear it, I know where I'm going now. First thing I did was take a wrong turn. That's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? First thing I did when I stopped filming is I checked the maps and I was going the wrong way. I do know where I am now. You can do a really nice walk up through those woods, but I feel like I've just been in woods for quite a while. Or you can walk straight down the middle of this, well, I'm going to use the word canyon after the last video, despite not seeing a canyon. This is more of a canyon, I would say. A valley, I'm going to say valley. You can walk straight through the middle of this valley and you can kind of look up either side, and I've been in the woods for the past hour, so it'd be nice to be back out in something different. So I think what I'm going to do is just ignore the route now, because I know where I'm going. And what the route wants me to do, the actual start where I should have started, is kind of over the top of that hill down the other side, and the route wants me to kind of loop back to the start as if it was the end. This is making no sense, but I know where I'm going and I'm just going to ignore the phone. Plus it's more pleasant when I can just walk without worrying about following that bloody green line on a map, which I do so well, obviously. So I'm just going to get back to just walking. Look at this. You could be in a foreign country here. Look at it. And this is on my doorstep, practically. I really can't stress how unique and brilliant it is up here. It's just awesome. So there's not much more to show you, really. We're coming to the end of the walk. Well, I've still got about at least 20 minutes, but the end bit's just the road. So I've really enjoyed that this morning. Setting off early. We've had all kinds of different terrains and environments. We've seen horses, dogs, people, kayakers. What an amazing morning. I'm so grateful to be able to get out here and share it with people. So if you enjoy it, please consider subscribing if you want to see more of this. I'd love it if you could like the video and share it. I'd love to be able to grow this channel a little bit with your help. So just mainly thanks for watching. It means the world, and I'll see you in the next one.